If she's going to report me to the police, if that's how she wants to play it, I'll report you right back. And I won't go to the police. I'll go to the Justice League. Note to Jimmy Kimmel, not only would Marjorie Taylor Greene's husband make quick work of you, but Rep. MTG herself would make quick work of you. Kimmel would not last too long if he were interested in engaging in unprovoked, terrible violence against this congresswoman. Keep wearing a mask. Well, Senator Cruz replied to this. That was not written to him. Bizarre. 535 members of Congress can attend the State of the Union without wearing masks. Still not good enough for Hollywood.
Raise your hand if you've ever wanted to call the cops on someone for telling a bad joke. No? Well, congratulations. You're already doing better than Marjorie Taylor Greene. But let's be real, we've all been there. Hearing a joke that falls flatter than a pancake. The difference? Most of us just groan and move on. Not our Marjorie. She's taking it to a whole new level, and Kimmel's not having it. Now, before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Kimmel's joke was not particularly funny when measured against the norms of comedy. In essence, he suggested that Will Smith should be the one to slap MTG on the wrist rather than Chris Rock. It's not exactly something that will rock the world, is it? That being said, it did cause some agitation within the Magic the Gathering camp. Instead of laughing it off or responding with a zinger of her own, our beloved congresswoman decided to indulge in all the drama queen behavior that she is known for.
On our show Tuesday night, MTG, Clan Mom as we call her, earlier in the day, called 3 of her fellow Republicans pro-pedophile for supporting Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson's nomination. She tweets. After she saw it, she tweeted, ABC contacts my employer. This threat of violence against me by Jimmy Kimmel has been filed with the Capitol Police. She called the police. After processing the fact that someone called the police on me, believe it or not, this has never happened to me in my life. I tweeted back, I wrote, "Officer, I'd like to report a joke."
Jewish space lasers was the first thing she said on Twitter, where she also accused Kimmel of making a threat against her. Get moving. She does not appear to have any understanding of the concept of humor. On the other hand, Kimmel, being the knowledgeable comedian that he is, had no intention of retreating from his position. The following tweet, which he sent out in response, caused everyone to laugh. "Officer, I am going to tell you a joke." Howdy. That deserves a moment of silence. Let us take a trip down memory lane in order to refresh our memories of some of the most popular Magic the Gathering card. Do you remember when she claimed that the wildfires in California were caused by Jewish space lasers that were kept a secret? Or the time when she made a veiled reference to the fact that the shooting that took place at the Parkland school was a hoax? Indeed, those occurrences did take place. A joke is being made into a big deal by her at this very moment. This is comparable to the story of the boy who cried wolf, except that it has less self-awareness and more hairspray. As a result of this entire mess, the internet, being the internet, had a field day.
This afternoon, she wrote, "You weren't joking. You hide your misogyny and your racism behind your jokes on ABC. This was a dog whistle to the violent left to assault me or worse." And you're misspelled "you're," of course. Well, that's nice. She thinks I have fans. I guess that's good. But now listen, not only don't I condone death or any kind of threats against anyone, especially as I get dozens of them a week myself. This woman, you may remember, she's the one who endorsed fringe conspiracy theories and repeatedly indicated support for executing prominent Democratic politicians. Now she's dialing 911 because she got made fun of.
During the time that Kimmel's supporters were flocking to his defense, Twitter turned into a Marjorie roasting ground. There were jokes being told by individuals at a rate that was faster than MTG could call the authorities to report them, comparable to observing a comedy writer's room in real time, with the exception that there were a greater number of typos and a smaller number of television executives. There is, however, more to come. It was just when you thought that MTG couldn't possibly make herself look any worse that she decided to double down on her efforts. The Capitol Police were even informed about Kimmel by her, which is quite an extreme measure. Actually, you did hear it correctly. Because she was the subject of a joke from a late-night comedian, she made use of actual law enforcement resources. What a waste of money from the public coffers. In addition to Marjorie Taylor Greene, it would appear that there are other politicians who have skin that is thinner higher than the comb-over that Trump maintains. There are a lot of whiners in Congress who are unable to tolerate even a little bit of teasing. It would appear that they have a strong aversion to taking criticism. On Capitol Hill, perhaps we should start handing out EpiPens to people more frequently. What do you remember about the time when Trump's tight-knit supporters got into a fight over Saturday Night Live, as a result of the comedians making fun of the individual who appeared to be in possession of nuclear codes? He threw a fit. The act of a person describing the crayon drawing of a toddler as ugly is comparable to watching him cry.
Hey, you know, all these crazy people in Congress, all of these low IQ individuals in Congress right now, there's one guy who's responsible for that, and that's Donald Trump.
First, new evidence tonight that we, you, the American people, all of us, we were all lied to.
Frankly, we did win this election.
We were lied to by Joe Biden.
Obama, amnesty. Amnesty, Obama, amnesty.
What kind of president needs a no card to answer a basic and predictable question?
But hold on, things are gonna pick up. It would appear that Ted Cruz, who is known for wearing a face swap filter that is not very good, decided to argue with, drum roll please, Mr. T. Actually, you did hear it correctly. It was the same Mr. T with the mohawk who had the ability to pick up satellite signals and more gold than Fort Knox. Because Mr. T was concealing his identity with a mask, Cruz became agitated. It appeared as though Cruz was making an effort to demonstrate his toughness, in contrast to a man whose catchphrase was, "I pity the fool." There is an alarmingly high number of politicians who are incapable of entertaining themselves with a joke. Every single one of them is out here acting like Superman, and words are their kryptonite against them. Jimmy Kimmel, may God bless him, suggested that we add sense of humor to the list of requirements by which candidates for public office must be qualified. At this rate, that ability to not cry when someone says something mean about you might as well be added to the list of attributes.
He's been sending very cleverly coded messages, narrating what he sees maybe more clearly than anyone, the brazen and unchecked hypocrisy we're being bombarded with every day.
We're going to beat this coronavirus, or whatever you want to call it, and we're going to beat it soundly.
And Biden's lies are so bad that even the Washington Post is calling him out for his lies.
The Washington Post new report out today
Is poorly read from a teleprompter.
They sacrifice every day for the furniture and future.
And today, yet again, he struggled to get words out.
Anonymous, really, Ed.
Let's take a moment, however, to talk about the hypocrisy that is MTG. This woman, who voted against honoring the Capitol Police, comes to the conclusion that they are her personal complaint department after experiencing a feeling of being threatened by a play on words. The fact that the chess pieces are made of Play-Doh and the fact that they are constantly sticking to her fingers gives the impression that she is playing chess in 4 dimensions. The fact that she is out here accusing comedians of being responsible for wildfires indicates that she is most likely still under the impression that Jewish space lasers were to blame. Get moving! As time goes on, it is becoming increasingly clear that the snowflakes that they are constantly complaining about are not the real ones. When someone makes a joke about these politicians who talk tough, they melt as quickly as ice cream when it is heated in the microwave. They are capable of giving, but they are not capable of receiving it. As soon as someone finally confronts a group of bullies in the schoolyard, it is as if they are watching them run away in tears to the teacher. The comedy political confrontation that we are witnessing teaches us what lesson? However, it has been discovered that political satire is not only a source of amusement, but also possesses some real power. In addition to being entertaining, the parodies of politicians that comedians like Kimmel create are also educational, according to the findings of research. As a result, viewers develop a more critical attitude toward the influential individuals in Washington and start paying more attention to the events that are taking place there. People, let's be honest with each other. If you are going to spread conspiracy theories like they are party favors, you had better be ready to take a few jokes about yourself. It is possible that our friend MTG could try calling her sense of humor the next time, rather than calling 911, if she is able to find it among all of those Jewish space laser blueprints. In the meantime, we will be waiting here with popcorn in hand, eagerly anticipating the next episode of Politicians Gone Wild. Who will know? It is possible that Ted Cruz and the Easter Bunny will engage in a competition in a cage. After all, US politics have witnessed a greater number of bizarre occurrences.